and welcome to Take Two Radio Music. I'm Pam, your host. Happy Monday, one and all. I hope you had a great weekend. Today is Music Monday, but instead of playing music from indies around the world, I have a special guest with me today, and I'm so very, very, very happy to welcome award-winning country singer-songwriter STACY BURK. Hello, STACY.
Hi, Pam. I sure appreciate you having me.
Oh, thank you so much for joining me today. I know you're a busy guy working on your album and everything.
Yeah, it's a lot to it. A lot more than I thought.
For sure.
Well, I've been working on it for a year now.
A year? Yeah. I know it doesn't happen overnight like a lot of people think.
No.
Well, I always like to start out the show with my guests telling us a little bit about themselves, like when and how they became interested in being in music. It's almost kind of like a walk down memory lane or this is your life. So,
well, sure.
When did you discover you had a singing voice?
Well, I used to run around the house when I was a kid, and I'd just be singing all the time. And my mom got tired of hearing me just sing around the house all the time. She said, I'm going to put you in a talent show or put you on stage. And first, it scared me. But they had a local talent show at school, and she entered me in. And I sang old Ronnie Millsap song. And I was so nervous. It was the first time I'd ever been up in front of anybody. And she said it looked like the wind was blowing my britches legs because I was shaking so much. And, but after that, I got used to it, and and they hauled me all over Texas to all the country opries, and I got to sing in front of the FFA conventions all through high school, and there was around 10,000 people at each of those, in San Antonio and Houston and Fort Worth. And so I just got to where I felt at home on stage. That was my home, and I just loved it. And I thank my mother to this day for doing that and, making me overcome that fear.
Oh, definitely. And that's not an easy fear to overcome. I mean, I have a fear, believe it or not, of public speaking, even though I do this show. But I think my mindset is that I'm just talking to you, and I don't think about who's listening in. But to actually get out in front of a crowd to speak, oh, my gosh, I don't know how you did it, but I'm so glad you did get over that fear.
Well, thank you. It seems
You're
like
welcome.
The bigger the crowd, the less nervous I am. So it's just like,
really,
I don't know why, but you get a smaller crowd, and it's more like the focus is on you. But you get a bigger crowd, and it's just like, hey, you just get up there and you just have a ball. So anyway.
Well, it helps when you're doing what you love as well, and you want to get it out there to people. And the type of business that you're in, you have to do that. So you had really no choice but to get over it. So it's a good thing. Now, did you teach yourself to play the guitar, or did you take lessons? I
took lessons, and a friend, my dad worked in the fire department in Sherman, and there was a friend of his that played up there at the fire department. He'd take me out, and so I would play at the fire department there, and it was really kind of a different environment, but I was thankful for that. He was really good. His name's Mike Skipworth.
Yeah, there's a lot of good apps out there now, and even like YouTube where you can watch it to learn to play guitar, but it's always better when you have somebody right there teaching you, so that way you have, if you have questions, you can ask, and they can show you better, I think, in person than doing it the other way. Right.
Well, at first I didn't want to learn. It hurt my fingers, but my mom, she went ahead and she made me do that, and I'm again thankful to this day that she just, didn't let me just scoot that aside, but she made me do it, and when I started learning how to sing a song with a guitar rather than just pick it and play it, that's when it became fun to me, and I feel like accomplished. And at first I couldn't think, it was hard to think about playing and singing at the same time. But now it's like it's hard to do without the other, and it just goes hand in hand, and so it's weird, how that works.
Right. Did it help you be able to write songs better?
Oh yeah, because it inspires me. Because I always write the music first, and so I'll come up with these tunes on the guitar, or real, pretty chord orchestration, and it depends upon what mood I'm in. I'll write all this music, and it just really inspires me to what the song's going to be about. And so I'll write all the music first to the whole song, and then I'll go back and put the words to it. That's the way I've always done it.
Wow, that's amazing. A lot of people will do it the opposite way, but, whatever works to get the music out there and make it great, like you do, then we're all for it. Now, in high school, you were in a band that won a lot of awards and earned you a guest spot on the Today Show. I mean, how amazing that must have been for you. You were so young.
Yeah, it was. I had a very blessed, time in high school. And a lot of it's because where I was in Texas. FFA is huge down here, and talent shows that they did was huge, in the country Opry. So we had a lot of opportunity to get out to play, and so the name of my band was the Something Special Band, and a lot of those artists went on. People in my band went on to do big things too. Went on to play with Ricky Skaggs, and Allison Moore went on to play for the Shoji DiBucci show in Branson, Missouri, and Joey Riley also, he had his own show up in Branson. So it was a real neat deal, and I'm very, very thankful for those times.
Yeah, it was like a big stepping stone for all of you guys.
It was. Had a lot of fun.
Now, you also had a regular show in Branson, from what I read, and there's so much talent there. How did that come about for you?
Well, when I first went to Branson, I started working at Silver Dollar City at the Mill and Mine restaurant, and I started bringing my guitar to work. I was supposed to be a server, and I just grabbed my guitar one time, and I started singing to the people, that come in, the customers that would sit down and eat. And they loved it so much that they just kept me doing that full time instead of serving the food. And the people at the over the entertainment came in one time, and the manager come in and said, "Hey, the people over the entertainment are here. Grab your guitar real quick, go out and serenade them." And I did that, and they immediately hired me that day to start singing at the big venue, Echo Hollow. They have every evening there. There was about an average of 3,000 to 4,000 people a night at that, and so that was a huge opportunity for me. I have a lot of great memories about
Definitely, and a lot of exposure to all the right people. So that must have been a lot of fun. I think you probably preferred that over serving, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a blast. Of course, I had a lot of fun with the customers up there, too, and that gave me a lot of experience. Just, really getting to talk to people and have fun with them. So, yeah, good memories.
Definitely. And that brought you a couple of awards, too. You won Male Newcomer of the Year and Duo of the Year with Lori Locke. So congrats on that as well.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Then I also found out that you were actually an equestrian director at a boys and girls ranch and basically had an epiphany about your own life when you were helping them out over there. Could you just embellish a little bit that for our listeners?
That was such a blessing. These teenagers that worked there, I went out there to think that I could help them. And it ended up turning around. Anyway, they helped me because they, I just seen that the hard times they were going through, and they were so encouraging. And I was teaching them how to live their dreams. And I just started feeling guilty because I wasn't living mine. And so I started playing and singing out there, and they just loved it and had such a good time. They were so encouraging, and now I'm out here doing it, and they don't quite understand how long it takes to make it, but they're learning through my endeavors and my mistakes and hardships I go through, and I keep in contact with them, and so they're encouraging me, and I'm just very grateful for them. Just my heart goes out to them.
Well, that's wonderful. I love that you give back, and I'm sure a lot of those boys and girls and teenagers have gotten back to you and said, hey, I made it, I did it, and it's all because you helped me. And that has to be the best feeling in the world.
Well, I hope so. I hope I can do that for them, because they did a lot for me, and I'll always be grateful.
Yeah, I'm sure you help change a lot of lives. I mean, these days, kids get into a lot of trouble if they're not kept busy. So it's always great to be able to go into something like this Boys and Girls Ranch or some kind of, boys club or girls club and learn to do things other than get in trouble.
Oh, it's such a great place for them. They don't have Facebook or anything on the ranch. It's a working ranch, so they wake up. They're out taking care of the horses and cows and, with the crack of dawn and getting all that stuff done before they have to go to school. And, they have to make breakfast on their own and do it as a team and clean up. And as soon as they're out of school, start their chores. I mean, they keep busy till, sun goes down. And it's just, it just teaches value and how to be appreciative and not be idle, and just responsibility and self-discipline and how to get along with each other, and it's just a great place.
Yeah, everything they need to know when they become an adult. I mean, they just don't realize, a lot of kids these days, what it is to be an adult. They turn 18 and they say, okay, now I'm an adult, treat me like one. Well, if you don't act like one, there's so many more responsibilities. Believe me, you don't want to rush it. So eventually, from there, you took your dog Rio, which I love his name, by the way, and you moved to Nashville, and you're welcome. He's such an adorable dog. You moved to Nashville, and you worked with Josh Leo, who's worked with Reba, Alabama, Martina McBride, just to name a few, to record your record called STACY Burk. And you were pretty hands-on on that recording and everything and mastering. What emotions ran through you once everything was done?
Well, it's such a tedious process, and I wish people, I know what I used to think, you just comes out so magical and perfect, you don't realize what all goes into it, but it's so much work in finding the songs and learning the songs and getting the songs to sound to that Nashville level. It's just a very professional attitude, and I know they don't know what all goes into it.
Right.
And I just have a whole new respect for, artists in Nashville and what they have to do to compete with each other. And we've got so used to hearing this level of perfection, compared to 25, 30 years ago, that it's so competitive, and it takes so much time and money to put into this. And so it's a very hard, probably one of the hardest careers to get into. And but I love it. I appreciate the art that goes into it and the songs. And I went through about 4,000 songs to pick out the ones that I wanted to get into. Oh my gosh! And that was a tedious time into itself. I mean, I stayed up for days on end and weeks and weeks and weeks going through those songs, and till I just, pass out at night from listening to them. But,
oh, I'm sure. I probably dreamt about it too.
But very pleased with the songs that I found, and get working with some great songwriters, and so yeah, it's a feat in itself.
Definitely. Is there anybody in the music industry that you haven't worked with yet that you'd like to work with?
Oh, there's so many I would love to meet and to learn from and work with. Josh Leo is just, I have so much respect for him. He was, just so good, and the quality that he brought to it, and he brought the absolute best of the band there. People that worked with all the top artists, and I just think the world of him, working with him, through those months and completing the record.
And with it being your first record, that's great that you could find somebody to work with that you're so compatible with and has the same ideas and the same goal that you have, because it's not easy. There's so many out there that you could have chosen, and here you ended up with this guy and have an amazing connection.
Well, he cared. He seen my, he seen my story and seen what I was doing, and he cared, and he just was fun to work with. Sometimes we kind of bump heads some, but it's just working together, and learning how to work towards what is best, and learning how to work together. And he's I just have so much respect for him. It was a great environment. It was out in a place out in the country outside of Nashville, and so he had dogs, so he allowed Rio to be there, and he just fell in love with Rio. And so his dogs and Rio was always laying at my feet the whole time we were out there recording.
I love that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There was one story where something happened outside, and while I was recording, the dogs started barking real loud. Of course, that went over into the recording. Well, when we went back into the studio and started comping, which is picking out the parts that we like, we was in our focus mode, and he was sitting there at the big board, and of course we've got the sound turned up real loud, and all of a sudden it comes to the part where the dogs just started barking real loud, and Josh totally jumped up out of his seat, and I started laughing so hard. Because it's hard to, get Josh, because he's that tough guy, and his demeanor is just, not much gets him. So I'll never forget that.
Oh my gosh, that had to be funny because you guys were in your zone, and it was so unexpected,
Right.
Well, I can understand that. I mean, I do my show from home. Thank God for, online talk radio shows and stuff. And I have 2 dogs. And every now and again, something will bug them, and they'll start barking. And I'm like searching really fast for the mute button on my phone so nobody hears that. And thankfully, they're pretty good. I can pretty much get through my show without having it. But, yeah, anybody listening out there has probably heard my dogs at least once or twice. So, but I wouldn't be without them. I absolutely love them. So,
yeah, they are a blessing.
They are. They really are. They don't ask for much, just some love and some food, and that's it.
Right.
Now, recently you shot your first video for your song "Till Your Boots Are Dirty," featuring Dancing with the Stars alum Maxim Chermakowski, and I hope I said that right. We only hear his name 6,000 times a day, but we never know how to say it. And I absolutely love the song, and the video is so much fun to watch. What did you enjoy the most about making this video and working with Max?
Well, it was a beautiful day and a beautiful place to, to make the video out the ranch and out there in the valley. It was such a blessing to be there and have Max and just his personality. He's just such a humble character, and he genuinely loves his fans. He's not fake at all. And, it's way, to me, a star needs to be, because, you hear about the stars that their time is so limited and they don't want to be bothered by people or the fans. Well, he so appreciates that, and he's so caring toward the people, and he loves people, and it comes across, and that was a witness to me and the way I hope to be. And of course, Dave West was the director of the video. He made that day such a fun day for all of us, because his energy level was just so high, and he which spilled over into all of us, which made us just want to do that much better. And so, I couldn't ask for a better day. That day was just the perfect day.
Well, I want to say that I have to ask you about one thing, because about this video and the lyrics. I read the lyrics of Till Your Boots Are Dirty, and you talk about cow tip, and I have to ask you, did you do that before?
Well, I've done a lot of things in my day. And, of course, I was raised on the farm and had my own goat dairy and had a lot of experiences. But, cow tipping, I've tried it, when it hasn't worked for me, when the cows I think they're sleeping, maybe they wasn't quite asleep, but I've never had one actually fall over yet.
Oh. Oh, I think that's so cute and so funny that you put that in there with the song. You hear about these things happening. I've never actually witnessed it, and I just wondered if you did, but that's good. Yeah. I'm glad they didn't fall over, and they don't get hurt, I'm sure, right? I would hate for that to happen.
No. Yeah.
Well, it's an excellent video, and for being your first one, it really gets a lot of interest, and we can't wait to see what you do with the next one.
Well, thank you. We're excited about our next single, Mix a Little, that comes out this week and starts going to radio stations around the nation. So there it is.
Yeah, that actually comes out tomorrow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that song is pretty... It got a story in itself, because I just happened to find that song at the very last day we had before we stopped recording, and we just that song barely made it onto the album, and it's one of my best songs. So I'm very excited about that song.
So this song, Mix a Little and Till Your Boots Are Dirty, will be on the album?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, it will be on. Yes, Can you hear me? Yes, it will be on.
Okay, yeah, now I can. You went out for a second there.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. That's okay. How many songs are going to be on the album, and do you have a working title for it?
It's 12 songs, I believe, will be finalized for the album. And right now, the name of the album is just my name, STACY Burk. Since it's my first album that, that's actually going out.
Okay, I get it. I'm sorry. I thought it was another one.
I have another album out before this, but it's it was never on iTunes. That was kind of before that was big and everything. And so this is the first album I'm putting out on a national or, global level. And that's what I believe it decided to name it.
Okay, well, that works for us. I mean, that gets your name out there. At least they know who's singing the songs then.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you release the album, are you going to go on tour?
Yes, we're already, in the process of that. We're out, mainly focusing on Texas right now and Oklahoma. And we've done some shows out in L.A. And so we're in the process of that. Jet Johnson opened for me out there, really great singer, and enjoyed working with her. And down here in Texas, we're starting, to get going down here, be at the Hanks Grill in McKinney, Texas, on the 23rd of August. Excited about that show.
Well, I'm in Chicago. You think you're going to make it this way?
Well, I sure hope so.
I hope so, too.
I hope so.
My daughter loves country music, and it's a funny little story is when I was growing up, my mom loved country music. I thought it was okay. I used to tease her every now and again about it. I was really big into rock at that time and didn't learn to appreciate, all different types of genres until I got older. And when my daughter was young, I used to take her to country shows with me, concerts and stuff like that, and she would just go just to be with me and sit there and kind of twiddle her thumbs. Now that she's older, she's learned to appreciate country music as well, and it's probably about all she listens to these days. So I'm sure she'd be happy to go to a concert to see you if you came out here.
Well, that would be nice.
I would love it. Well, we'll have to keep in touch and check out your website and your Facebook and your Twitter and all that to see when you're going to be coming this way or where you're going to next. Even if it's somewhere around the area, the surrounding states, we can take a ride and go.
Yeah, please do. Or always keeping up my Facebook, STACY BURK Music, up to date, and so everybody can find that. Just look at STACY BURK Music on Facebook. They'll find out my latest dates and what's going on. We like to keep that up to date.
And your Twitter is at STACY BURK Music, and just let me tell the listeners, it's STACYBURK, because there's different ways of spelling your name, so I want to make sure they get the right one.
Yeah, no E's in my name.
Right. You're almost vowelless.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today, Stacy. I wish you all the best, and you are welcome back anytime.
Well, thank you so much, Pam. You've been great, and it was great to be on here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to go ahead and play your 2 songs for our listeners, and I'm going to let you go and wish you a wonderful day. All righty. You too, Pam. Thank you again. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. You too. Bye. And for our listeners, here is Till Your Boots Are Dirty by Stacy Burke.
Cause your four-wheel drive was the latest step aside. They're smoking hot, fresh off the lot. You ain't country cause them boots you're wearing shine up like a diamond glaring. It don't mean a thing, at least not to me. You can't make that claim, it don't work that way. You gotta earn that name. You ain't country till you think how it been, till you've been skinny dipping. Something sweet off in some creek. You ain't country till you stuff a truck knee deep out in a field of mud way back in the sticks. That's how it is. Late to bed and back up early. You ain't country, no, till your boots are dirty. while behind the tractor breaks and granting, stir up some dust. Yeah, that's a must. Well, life rolls on like a wheel, and knowing that's a deal. You gotta dig in your heel. You ain't country till you've been cow dipping, till you've been skinny dipping for something sweet off in some creek. You ain't country till you stuff trust me, deep out in a field of mud, way back in the sticks. That's how it is. Late to bed and back up early. You ain't country, no, till your boots are dirty. And should you ever decide to live your life this way, somewhere down the line, you'll be the one to say, you ain't country till you've been cow tipping, till you've been skinny dipping, something sweet, off in some creek. You ain't country till you stuff trust me, deep out in a field of mud, way back in the sticks. That's how it is. Late to bed and back up early. You ain't country, no, till your boots are dirty. Till your boots are dirty. Till your boots are dirty.
Oh, such a fun song and video. Be sure to check out the video on YouTube and check it out his website at stacyburkmusic.com. Here is his next song, Mix a Little.
I could use a little bit more of that smile when the sun goes down. Wanna see, gotta know what drives you wild when no one's around. Some things just go together like ice cold drinks and summer weather, and moonlight is just right. Mix a little, pick you up at 8 o'clock with you walking out the door looking July hot, a little catch my breath from that hey you kiss, and some of that porn moon. Maybe I know a spot where we could go, so pour another shot of that, get to know ya. If that's something you wanna do, mix a little me and you. Got me dying to know how you move with the music up. If I'm right one night alone with you, it won't be enough. When things go this good together, a little bit more is all the better, baby. How about we'll find out, yeah. Mix a little, pick you up at 8 o'clock with you walking out the door looking July hot, a little catch my breath from that hey you kiss, and some of that porn. Maybe I know a spot where we can go, so pour another shot of that, get to know ya. If that's something you wanna do, mix a little me and you.
And that was Mix a Little by STACY Burk, our very, very wonderful guest for today. Be sure to check him out at Hank's Texas Grill if you're in the McKinney, Texas area on August 23rd. I'm sure you won't be sorry to see him live and maybe get a little chat or autograph afterwards. I'm sure he does that with his fans. He seems to care a lot about them, and I'm very grateful for that because, as he said, there's a lot of them out there that don't do that. I'm looking forward to his new album coming out. I know I'm going to love it just by hearing those 2 songs. So be sure to pick up his music on iTunes and Amazon. Watch for Stacy Burke. He's going to be huge. One of my all-time favorite country artists is George Strait, and I can definitely hear some of George in his music. So that's how I know he's going to be great. I want to thank you all for joining me today, and thanks again to Stacy for taking time out of his busy day to join me. And thanks to his publicist for setting this up. Without you, I wouldn't have the guests that I have, and you have amazing clients. So with that, I'm going to close the show, and I hope you guys will join me on Wednesday, August 13th for pop artist Jupiter in Velvet. We will be doing an interview at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and since he's from the UK, I should also mention that's 8 p.m. GMT time. So we'll see you then. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. God bless each and every one of you.
Get connected with Take Two Radio Music on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio Music, or for email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadioMusic.com.